do you like Veblen Goods? But what are Veblen Goods? In economics, Veblen Goods are a theoretical group of commodities for which people's preferences for buying them increases when their price increases, instead of decreasing according to a theory of supply and demand. It is claimed that some types of high-status goods, such as diamonds or luxury cars, are Veblen goods. In 1996, Bernard Dubois and Gilles Laurent conducted a study. They interviewed customers in 12 countries: Germany, the United States, Norway, Austria, Denmark, Australia, the Netherlands, Spain, Belgium, Hong Kong, France, and Poland. The weakness of this study is that it does not include two very strong luxury markets, Japan and Italy. And they try to answer a question: do people from different nationalities behave the same way, and do they have similar attitudes toward luxury products? And the answer they got is clearly no. In each country, they discovered 4 different groups of people with different attitudes towards luxury. And these groups are the elitist, the Democrats, the anti, and the detached. They discovered big differences between countries, because in some of them, the majority of population represents the democratic approach, and in some countries, most of the inhabitants are anti-luxury. And the outcome of their study could be quite useful for companies which offer luxury goods. First important conclusion is that there are some countries that are probably not worth entering for luxury brands like Australia. And second, a company to adjust its branding strategy to local preferences. And the questionnaire was presented in English language to business students, and they had to answer items such as, I almost never purchase luxury products, or luxury is pleasant, and they had to agree or not. Despite the fact that questions were put to students who are not necessarily the best or most appropriate people to ask about luxury goods, 4 different groups, quite homogeneous and quite different in their responses, emerged. First group is the elitist, the traditional luxury. In this category, people are clearly favorable to luxury. They believe that luxury is useful, pleasant, and they like it. As customers, they are also very favorable. They consider that luxury products improve life. They buy luxury goods, and in attitude and behavior, they are clearly in favor of this activity and perceive themselves as customers or would-be customers. Dubois and Laurent labeled this group as classical and elitist, because these people consider that luxury is targeted in a very small group of individuals, the happy few, in which they naturally include themselves. They say, for example, that few people own luxury products and that a real luxury products cannot be sold at the supermarket. Second group, the Democrats, open luxury. In this second group, the attitudes and behavior are almost identical to the first group. But where this group differs? Though in its vision of luxury. They believe that luxury is for everybody. In fact, while elitists have a Rolls-Royce or a private jet vision of luxury, the Democrats think more about a bottle of perfume or Dom Perignon, which can be sold in supermarkets or be mass-produced. Third group, the anti, opposed to luxury. In this category, people are very much against luxury. Only 7% say that luxury is pleasant. So what about the other 93%? What they find unpleasant and why? Only 4% say they like luxury products and their behavior is in line with this, because 58% state that they almost never buy luxury products. In its vision of luxury, this group has a very strange position, because they consider that luxury products are not necessarily very expensive and have considered that luxury products are owned by almost everybody, but on the other hand, 70% of these people consider that you must be quite a snob to buy luxury products. In fact, they think that luxury products are available, cheap, can be mass-produced, but they don't like it. It's more ideological thing. And finally, the fourth group, the detached, luxury far away. In this group, people are not strongly opposed to luxury as in the previous group. In fact, 68% consider that luxury is pleasant, and they know that most people buy luxury products. They have nothing against the category, but such products are not for them. And what they're saying is, in fact, this is great, it's not unnecessary, but personally I don't need it. As with the previous group, a majority of them say that they almost never buy luxury products. And these groups are quite interesting because they provide a typology of attitudes and behavior that can be used to analyze and group customers. These four positions are underlying patterns that can be found in many different groups, even within the same country. But the aim of the study of Dubois and Laurent was to find differences in perceptions amongst different national groups. And this table summarizes it. The most striking finding is just how different Australia is from all the others. It is clear that Australians have very specific culture and they seem to have strong negative attitudes toward luxury products in general and toward the concept of luxury in particular. The luxury word is quite different from the normal Australian way of life. This does not, of course, prevent Australian executives from wearing Hermes ties or Rolex watches, no matter how bad it may cause them to feel. There is a group of 5 countries, including Denmark and Netherlands, which have favorable attitudes toward luxury. While on average 20% are detached, nobody is opposed to it. In this group, luxury is perceived as positive, but also open and democratic. In Denmark and Norway, very few belong to the elitist group. In the United States, people are quite favorable to luxury, but divided by a ratio 2:1 between the democratic group and the elitist group. In a way, in the United States, as well as in Austria and Germany, two clear visions of luxury cohabit within the same population. In other words, this market is very segmented and where different groups must listen to a slightly different story to be convinced to buy these goods. So probably when asked about luxury in those countries, some people think of a diamond necklace and some about the perfume. And there are countries with strong detached group of people who have a positive attitude but who generally consider themselves non-customers. And these countries are Hungary, Belgium and Spain, which is consistent with its relatively small number of luxury brands from those countries. And there is also a fourth group of countries, including France and Poland, where luxury is perceived as an elitist market for the happy few. It's quite interesting that Poland scored almost identical scores as France, homeland of most of luxury brands, like Chanel, Dior, Hermes, Louis Vuitton, Kenzo, Yves Saint Laurent, Jean Paul Gaultier, Hennessy, Champagne, Cartier, Van Cleef, and many, many more. And Poland has virtually no global luxury brands, so I don't know why is it so. If you have any ideas, please let me know. So, to conclude, countries vary in their attitudes toward luxury, and there are some that most of the people hate luxury products, so for the global luxury brand, it's probably not worth entering those countries. And even if they enter some countries, they have to consider their branding strategy and adjust them to local preferences. And I am personally elitist, so here is my vision of luxury. Especially the ball, very expensive. And I have birthday on August, so if you think of buying me some presents, you may think of this as an idea, because it's also my wish list, the items that I would like to have. So.
Especially in the middle.
Yeah, I would like to have everything.
What do you already have? Okay, 1 minute for comments.